Kyrie Irving.
Man.
Talk about polarizing NBA players. I think it starts with Kyrie Irving. Not just obviously the on the court stuff, but even off the court, which we're not going to talk about here. But just from this, purely from the on the court stuff, you know, a lot of people seem to believe that he is just not good enough to be a number one, or he's not good enough to win by himself. First of all, whoever says that, out the window. I apologize. Nobody's ever good enough to win by themselves.
Right. There's no such thing.
It's a team game. But what they fail to acknowledge is that being able to sacrifice to this level to let other players who you might be on par with, sometimes he's been better than, whatever. I'm not here to, obviously not the LeBron, but you know, his stint in Boston, probably not better than Luka, but just him being able to realize this as one of the highest, the most highly touted players coming out of Duke, that like, this was like YouTube mixtapes was everything Kyrie all the time because he was just that talented. Him being able to get all these labels and just literally block out the noise and go and contribute and be the team's second best player offensively at all times, while this season in particular, like accommodating to the star is a skill within itself. And he's shown that he literally has done that his whole fucking career. Yeah. And that's not easy. Like, it takes players years to accommodate. He did it from day one. As soon as LeBron got there, he knew his role. Gets traded, you know, now we're going to fast forward, gets traded to Dallas. Luka's there, knows his role. And it's just, it's polarizing because a lot of hate is brought upon him. Some of it is not justified. His shot selection, dude, I don't want to hear that, to be very honest, particularly with him, because he's ultra fucking efficient. Right. This year, he's putting up damn near 26 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 49% from the field for a guard.
6'3" guard.
That you're probably being generous with the 6'3", but yeah, 6'3" guard. 49% from the field, 42% from three, and damn near 90% from the free throw line at 88.5%. So he's almost 50, 40, 90, and efficiency creeps up with this guy. Are we fucking kidding? Like, let's keep it honest, man. Like, he's one of the most skilled players that has literally ever graced the basketball court. Yeah. But we have to nitpick something. We have to hate on something for his greatness to be, my opinion, to not be respected or valued, I guess. Like, we take Kyrie Irving for granted is why I think he's so polarizing. Some people would just bang the table for, like, you know, he's not this good, he's not whatever, but he's been sensational this year and has accommodated his game in several ways, like I said, to his star, but particularly this season has the highest percent of his shots are assisted this year. Yeah. So completely changing his role from, I mean, I don't know if you remember, Kenny, but when he went to Brooklyn, the first time when he was by himself, before that 20-game
stretch, was hooping.
That 20-game stretch when Kyrie was Kyrie before he got hurt, that was menace level activity every day on the court. He was how I liked it. He was on one every time down the court. You knew it was him. Try to stop him, and you still couldn't. And this year, it's like he's like, I feel like he's recognized, you know, this is the way that they're going to win. The team has been very good when he's been on the court. It's a 9-point difference when he's on versus when he's off the court. That's how much he means to this team. Filled his role in perfectly next to Luka. He's been the perfect Robin to the Batman several times in his career, and that gets underappreciated. That's definitely my first pick for polarizing guards.
And you know what? I think aside from the off-court stuff, like I said, we're not really, like you said, we're not really going to touch on that. But the on-court stuff, I feel like it's just, he's one of those unfortunate casualties of the LeBron/GOAT, quote-unquote, conversation, where there's people who just have to discredit everybody LeBron ever played with to make LeBron
that much
whatever.
Better.
LeBron's great enough. He doesn't need all that. But people feel the need to do it. And so, but I do want to also expound on your point about Kyrie accepting his role, because obviously in Cleveland as a young player, you're not going to win. You're not going to carry that kind of team that young. LeBron comes back. He takes there were two Batmans. There were two Batmans. I don't want to discredit Kyrie in any way. There were two Batmans, but he also understood this is LeBron James. LeBron's going to run this offense a whole bunch, and that's the best thing for the team. He ends up getting traded to Boston, and he takes on he wasn't even that old yet, but he took on the veteran role, taking the young guys under his wing. And there were stories and stuff about the locker room not liking him, whatever it is, but all those players speak on Kyrie highly. So I feel like that's one of those things where like the media perception and his teammates' perceptions are polar opposites. I feel like Kyrie gets himself into a lot of stuff, but there's also a lot of media narratives that get made up about him. And I feel like whatever happened in Boston is one of those things. Then he goes to Brooklyn and he's with KD. Like you said, he's going crazy at first. KD comes back. Him, KD, and James Harden don't play a lot together, but when they do, he's also sacrificing his shots and all this stuff. And now he goes to the Mavs, and you see every former Maverick is, I wasn't getting the ball enough, and just hitting at Luka having too much control of the offense. You got Kyrie Irving, who's going into the Hall of Fame, making the best of it, and like you said, putting up incredible numbers. And so I do want to also give Kyrie credit for that. I understand he rubs people the wrong way with some of his off-the-court stuff, and not only the controversial stuff, but just his spirituality in general. People like to make fun of him for like all that stuff. We only care about basketball on the show. And so as far as we're both concerned, Kyrie is a great player.